Okay, so in our last video we learned if, we're going to learn else if, and then we're going to learn a really bad idea that somebody put into programs for some stupid reason called switch. I think this is a really bad idea. I don't know why we're still using switch statements, but we are. So we have to deal with, if you see these, I'm sorry, I've created a few of these myself. So I have indeed sinned. Okay, cool. So the first thing we're going to go over is the else statement. So the way we do the else is just like this. So basically what happens is if this is not true, else run this. So we're going to echo 3 less than 3 is not true. And we should see that. So that's the else statement. Basically it runs if the if statement is not true. And we can see that it indeed does run. There's also the else if statement, else if, which we're going to go over right now. So we're going to create a variable called name, and we're going to say that the name is Tom. And we're going to say if Tom equals Tom, Joe, going to echo hello Joe. Else if Tom equals Bill, we're learning the else if, echo, and we don't have Tom's, we need to use name, I'm sorry. So if name equals Joe, okay, my bad, programming mistake, echo hello Bill. And we're going to say else, echo hello whoever. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to cascade down these if-else statements. So if the name equals Tom, echo hello. If the name equals Joe, echo hello Joe. Echo execute what's inside here. Else if, it's basically another, it's an appended if statement. Echo hello Bill, else echo hello whoever. So does what's in the name variable equal Joe? Does it equal Bill? What's it going to execute? Let's find out. So we're going to echo this, and it's hello whoever. So here's a little bit of a quiz. How would we get it to echo hello Bill? What would we have to change the name variable to get it to echo hello Bill? Okay, I'm going to pause 5 seconds. If you said Bill, because Bill equals Bill, you were right. Let's confirm. And that's indeed true. So that's the else if statement. Pretty simple stuff. And the next thing we're going to, that's the else statement. So you kind of get an idea of what you can do with that. Next thing we're going to learn is the switch. I'm not a big fan of these because fall through. You can have, it's very easy to have fall through. Like sometimes you can prevent it, but I'm just not a big fan of these. You might like them, I don't. So the switch statement would be like this. Name equals Bob. And we're going to have switch name. We're going to do open parentheses, close parentheses, and then in switch statements you have cases. So in this case we're going to have Tom, and then you have a break. And what's inside of here will echo if the name equals Tom. So we're going to say echo your name is Tom. And you can add as many cases as you want. So you can have case Bill, break, and we'll just echo your name is Bill. And then you have a default case, and we'll break. Always make sure you put your break. Break just means end. Do you need break? I think that's just my thing. Go, your name is whatever. I think it's doing that just because I forgot to do the semicolon. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to silence what we created here with the else if, and we're going to use a break, and there you go. So your name is whatever, and in fact it does echo that out. Let's go ahead and make that a little less weird. There we go. So you can do that. We could also do case Fred. So you can do two cases. So if it's Fred or Bill, echo your name is Bill, say we're Fred, and we're just going to change this to Fred. So this will echo your name is Bill or Fred. So you can have multiple, you can do these fall through cases. To me, this is just a little confusing, especially for new people, and you can accomplish whatever you want really in an else if. I think it just creates unnecessary nonsense in your code, and it encourages clutter. So I'm really not a big fan of the switch statement, and I'm not even really a big fan of the else if statement either. I like keeping, I think if you're using a lot of else's, or a lot of else ifs, that's a sign that you might need to rewrite some stuff. Maybe organize things a little better. It's okay if you're doing this and you're just starting out, but when you get a little bit further along, just keep that in mind. If you see yourself writing a lot of if-else's or switches, God forbid, it might be a sign that you might need to rewrite some things. Just a little bit. Just something to think about. So that is the end of our basic logic. Next, we're going to go over loops and some of the things we can do with loops. And from there, we'll go over functions and classes. And then we'll get right into testing. So that should be fun. So I'll see you on the other side. Blah.